Hello and welcome. Today I have with me Sebastian Affi, one of the 8 pre-qualified World Cup contenders. Hi, how is your break from tournaments going?
Hi, yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I don't have a lot of breaks right now between TMGL, RT, and the World Cup, but yeah, I try to still enjoy the game, even though I'm playing quite a lot, but it's going good.
Have you cooled down after the ZRT win?
Yeah, I took a 1 week break from the game since I didn't take any break between TMGL and ZRT, and I played quite a lot. And I also had to focus on my exams that I have right now. So yeah, it was a 1 week break before training for World Cup.
Yeah, but are you still high after win or just focused solely on World Cup?
Let's just say, yeah, I enjoyed a lot ZRT. It's pretty tough to come back to these TMGL maps because it's really different. But yeah, I'm still motivated. Um, I want to enjoy these 3 days in Paris and also perform, but I'm not setting too high expectations, so I don't have too much pressure.
You overall actually had quite a hot streak this year. First at MSI, 50 MGL regular season, second at GA, first at ZRT. And I wanted to ask you, will that momentum continue? I mean, does that streak give you more confidence or maybe puts pressure onto you to not mess this up?
Yeah, obviously it's a huge confidence boost. Uh, Believing in myself and what I can do in the game, even though I had like big achievements before. Um, I don't think I'm setting too much pressure on myself. Uh, I want to play good, but I'm not expecting too much as well. I'm not aiming for the title of world champion this year. Let's see how it goes because I was saying the same for ZRT and ZRT happened to win for us. So let's just play my best, train as much as I can, and see what happens.
And yeah, with this kind of start to a year, you're actually on a great path to maybe win the Pro Player of the Year in the Trackmania Awards. Is that something that you would consider striving for? Is that something that you think about, or just dismiss it and if it happens, then it happens?
Well, I'm not really aiming for these awards, even though it always feels nice to be nominated or being the one voted for. So yeah, it feels good, but yeah, I'm more focusing on the achievements for myself than for these awards.
Do you think maybe that, well, going for those awards, do you think that maybe like stuff like the TMGL finals might play a big role in maybe denying you the award?
Well, of course, there are quite a lot of names that could be nominated this year because we had a lot different winners. And also new names winning the TMG season, such as Mudda. So I think Mudda is obviously one of the favorite contenders for the award, especially if he performs good in the World Cup. Obviously, there is always Carl Jr. coming back, maybe Pack as well. Depends. We are only halfway through the year, so we'll see in the second half.
That's very much true. And despite this one event, it is actually quite impressive to finish this high at so many tournaments in a row. Partly because of the constantly changing formats. Medal system, regular cup mode, duo cup mode with challenges. How does that affect you as a player?
Um, yeah, it's kind of yeah. You have to adapt to every system, of course, but at the same time, we don't really change our play style depending on the system because you always have to go as fast as possible. We are used to cup mode, so it's not weird to come back to it. We had to adapt for the medal system that worked quite well for some people and not very well for others. So yeah, we have to do with it, but I think it's cool to have some variations in the game, not always playing the same stuff such as cup mode back in the days. And yeah, it's pretty refreshing, I would say.
Do you have some kind of favorite or dream format for yourself for comfort?
Yeah, I think cup mode stays the best format for me because you can go through all the emotions in the match. You can start off well, being motivated to score some 10 pointers, but then you can play bad on one map and the others come back and you have finalist mode. So many things happen, and especially when we played cup mode on stage for the ZRT, it was a big mixture of emotions.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you for something, maybe toward it. I mean, directed towards maybe newbies, some new viewers, and actually that's including me a little. Can you maybe run down the World Cup format for us? Because I personally am a little confused on how, for example, group stage would work. So that would be very helpful if you can just run it down for us.
Sure. So we have the group stage taking place on Friday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We have 8 matches going on. The first 4 matches are already being seeded with the seed we have right now from TMGL and the qualifiers. We are playing against 3 other people in the cup mode, and depending on the placement at the end of the match, you win points. Being first place wins 3 points, second place 2 points, third place 1 point, fourth place 0 points. And at the end of the 4 first matches, at the end of Friday, we will have a first ranking going from first to 16th. We have a new seeding being made for the next 4 matches. The next 4 matches, we win points as well. And at the end of Saturday, we have a top 8 that goes through the playoffs of World Cup. And this top 8 is being seeded in 2 semifinals. And in the semifinals, the 2 winners go in the grand final, where we have the world champion being crowned.
Thank you. I was actually confused about the part in group stage, if it was all the players at once or maybe it was actually 1v1, v1, v1, 4 players in the lobby.
Yeah.
But thank you for clarifying that. And how do you feel about that format? Another little change, we have group stage this time. How do you feel about that?
Well, last year we had the group stage in the
Yeah,
World Cup as well.
I meant that in this year another new format. So that's a new thing to this year.
Yeah. Um, I hope it will work out pretty well. I think we have to score big points right at the beginning of the World Cup, because it's always harder to race against the others from the back. So yeah, I'll be aiming for the big points in the first matches, since that's where people are getting used to the setup. Yeah, we're playing in LAN, so it's always different than playing at home. And yeah, the goal is always to make it in the playoffs, to play in the semifinals, and then we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And all those formats, what are they? They are great at is creating many comeback possibilities. And I think you have especially experienced it at ZRT
Yeah.
semifinals when Jalik started closing the gap between you. What's happening in your head at those moments? You're quite massively ahead, and then all of a sudden, you can't close out, and someone is getting closer and closer and closer. What's going on in your head?
It's tough because you are missing so many chances of closing the match that you're starting to doubt, obviously. And I guess having challenge not being finalist and closing out was not the worst thing, because he kept on denying Bren when I made mistakes, but he also denied me when
Mm-hmm.
Bren made mistakes. So yeah, that's pretty scary. But at the same time, when we all ended up being finalists in the last round, you can just think about the fact that it's the last run. It's now or never. If you have to win one run, it's in your career. It's this one. So yeah, you just go all in, and that's how it goes in my head.
Yeah, and you overcame that. You did it, and you in the end quite dominantly in the finals won the ZRT. And after you've said in this interview and in the interview with Irik that you will be taking a week break from Trackmania, and so I assume that you are back on the grind in the game and training now that we have also new 4 maps. How is your practice going?
My practice is going well. I practiced quite a lot the new maps last week, that are pretty interesting actually, pretty complex. A lot of things to master, but yeah, not too bad. I like them. The length is not too long, so it's better than last year because the maps were a bit longer. Now I'm focusing a bit more on the previous maps that we knew from the past TMGL seasons, but you pretty much have to learn them again because it's been months since we played them last time. Yeah, so it's going quite well now. It's a bit hard to train with the heat we have right now here in Europe. So it's been more than 30 degrees for the past 5 days. So don't really want to play too much Trackmania or being on the PC since it's already very hot. But yeah, I'm just trying to set up my PBs on the maps, and I'll be training the consistency next week before the World Cup.
And you've said that you don't expect yourself to win this World Cup. I, for example, think that when you are actually trained and practice, you can actually go for it, go for the trophy. So just wanted to ask, who do you think is the greatest rival for the trophy for you?
Yeah. Oh, so the easy answer is going to be Carl Jr., of course.
Mm-hmm.
Every year he's being part of the favorites to win it, even though he didn't win it every time, but like a lot of times. I think we we will have Pac as usual being very fast. I can see Mada being very good because he was also very good on the last TMGL season. But since we are not playing at home, we will see. It's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
first land for some players, uh, like Moda, for example, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be, yeah, we will all have to adapt, just like it was on the ZRT stage. So let's see what happens. But for me, the favorite is gonna be Carl Jr.
Okay, thank you for the interview. Do you have any short message to your fans and the viewers?
Well, thanks to everyone who is supporting me as always. I hope to see some of you in Paris since we will have a small audience in front of us. So yeah, looking forward to it, and see you next time.
And to all the viewers, you can find all the links to Affi's socials in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe for more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.